Let's do some more of these. Cell phone. Who doesn't have a cell phone in 2019? You know what a cell phone was in 1978? That was a cell phone. Nobody had a cell phone in 1978. If you had a cell phone, you didn't. I got a cell phone. What are you in for?
Hey there, and welcome to a very special weekend here at Comedy in Place. This is the comedy show that comes to you from my office right here, sheltered in place in my home in Southern California. I am your host, Don McMillan, and how is it special? Because it's a flashback weekend. That's right. All weekend long, I am looking back at how life used to be versus how it is now. Because when I graduated from college in the 80s, a completely different world, and I thought Memorial Day weekend, good time to look back at how life used to be and how it's changed. Cell phone, perfect example. Nobody wanted a cell phone in 1978, right? Nobody, but now everybody's got one. So that's how this weekend works. This weekend is also a run-up to something I'm doing next Wednesday, which I'm hoping a lot of people will sign up for. I am headlining, yes, headlining the Nowhere Comedy Club. Yes, it's a virtual comedy club online. I'm headlining the Nowhere Comedy Club. I'm headlining Nowhere, ladies and gentlemen. I always thought my career would come to this. Where am I headlining? I'm headlining Nowhere. But I hope you'll join us at Nowhere. Me and two of my best comic buddies who are really funny, Jason Love and Brian Kiley, are on the show. It's a full 90-minute show. It's happening live. We'll interact with the audience a little bit. We'll be able to hear your laughs, and I'm hoping it's going to be really fun. So please join us next Wednesday, May 27th, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific time. The information's on the screen. If you have a chance next Wednesday, please join us. Enough of the pitch. Let's get to today's show. Okay, so today's show is all about flashback, right? So I've prepared some slides because people who know me know what I did, just to kind of figure out how life is different since I was younger, when I graduated from college. I'm going to start actually in the year 2000. Now, in the year 2000, you know what the hottest device was? The hottest device in the year 2000 was the Blackberry. Everybody wanted the Blackberry. It was the hottest phone. Everybody, and they called it the Crackberry because people just loved it. They would just all day, the little keyboard. It was fun. I loved that little keyboard. Everybody wanted a Blackberry. Just 20 years earlier, in 1980, you know what a Blackberry was? A Blackberry was a fruit. Yeah. In the year 2000, nobody remembered that the Blackberry was a fruit. Kids born in like 1990 had no idea it was a fruit. They thought it was just a really cool phone. What's really sad? By 2020, well, it's a fruit again. Yeah. Nobody even remembers the Blackberry. A lot of kids born in 2010, no idea it was ever a phone. Very sad, very sad. 2020, what is 4 bars? It's a good reception, right? 4 bars is good reception nowadays. 2020, you want 4 bars. You know what 4 bars was back when I was in college? A good night of drinking. Yeah, that was that was even an average night of drinking. 8 bars, that was a good night of drinking. How about some Windows jokes? Okay, 2020, there's a Windows update. We get them all the time. Got a must shut down Windows update. You know what a Windows update was in 1980? That was a Windows update. Yeah. Not so critical either. Not really, unless your Windows leaking. One more Windows joke. In 2020, there's a Windows server right there. That's a Windows server. In 1980, that was a Windows server. Yeah, she's a Windows server. Yeah, when she crashed, nobody lost any data. Much safer Windows server back in 1980. Okay, one more and then we'll get out of here. There's more coming this weekend, though, and more coming live in front of a live studio audience at the end of the show, so stick around. Pharmaceutical sales are huge nowadays. I mean, just one of the biggest businesses in 2020, pharmaceutical sales. You know what pharmaceutical sales was 40 years ago in 1980? That was pharmaceutical sales. Really, when you think about it, not that much different. They're just dressing better now. That's really the only difference. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. That's pretty much it for today's show. I have more flashbacks coming over the weekend. Please tune in. Have a great Memorial Day weekend. Keep laughing. Join us next Wednesday, May 27th, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific time at the Nowhere Comedy Club. Until then, keep laughing. More comedy coming up. Here's your video.
2019, there's a child seat. You know where we sat when I was a kid in the car? In the back window. That's where we sat. Right. My sister and I used to fight. Who gets to sit in the back window of the car? My dad would pick the lucky winner. You get to risk your life, young man.